Hello my darlings, welcome to my channel. This is your daily update for the Twin Flame Collective, and today we're doing a special edition dedicated to the new moon in Sagittarius, which is going to be happening today, just a few hours. The peak is just a few hours out from when I'm publishing this video. And the date might be a little bit different depending on where you are. So for some of you it will be November 23rd, for others it will be November 24th. But the main idea is it's coming, it's just hours away. And this is this new excitement energy that this new moon is bringing in. Because it's in Sag, because it's ruled by Jupiter, because of where Venus and Mars are currently in the sky, and even in 3D world. The world community rejoices. For a lot of cultures, a lot of countries, it's the season of celebration. In States, we have, as I speak, we have the beginning of the Thanksgiving days, the basically 4 days of celebration. And yes, we don't pay as much attention to the original idea of it, of being grateful to nature, to harvest, to the land, to the animal world, for providing, for helping those pilgrims survive, basically, right? And of course to the Native Americans. We don't pay as much attention to that part of the story. Some people still do, and they hold rituals, and it's beautiful. And as light workers, I highly recommend to embrace those. If that presents an interest to you, you can connect with people who do it, you can find out how you can contribute, and yeah, by all means, do that. But even as we connect, as we unite with families and friends, and we say the words of gratitude, and just a reminder, I have an article about giving thanks and energetic meaning of it on my blog, mindfulbamboo.com, so you can check it out. Why is it important in terms of spiritual path? And because so many people do it, or at the very least, they get together on a joyful occasion, right? To catch up, to give each other's hugs and kisses, and just enjoy each other's company, right? Sometimes it's as simple as that. It's enough to create this collective idea of joy and wonder and hope, and just open up this season of holidays, right? And then of course in America, it's also like it's been commercialized for the last 100 years or so, and we have Macy's Parade happening tomorrow, which is a big event. It's a huge deal. And of course this holiday season also means all the different sales, people shopping like crazy, already in the mood for Christmas, buying presents, seeing all the decor, all the Christmas carols. Like, it's full on, baby, at this time. Like, even those that were behind before, the stores, the establishments, they're now gonna be full on jingling those bells. So yeah, it means a lot for the energetics and for how we move forward. And just before I go into the details for the twins, and we're definitely going to do a reading to see what's coming up for divine feminines and masculines during this time, what kind of opportunities are being created, what kind of challenges are we facing, and also what would you like to share energetically with each other between the twins. Today this is going to be an energetic message, not the 3D, but more of a 5D space. Because I know a lot of you are not in communication with your twin, but it doesn't mean that there's nothing to say, or even if they are occupied with their karmic life, it doesn't mean that they are, energetically they don't want to say anything to you. So we'll do that at the end. But before I tune in, just the last thing I would mention is that, yeah, this new moon is basically bringing in, as together with the general new moon energy, which is about the new cycle, new hope, new plans, new intentions, setting new goals, something practical, something that you want to achieve, not like the wishful thinking, right? But like actual things that will then materialize, right? It's like creating a vision board. It's that part of the story. But also because it's in Sag, it's quite ambitious, I would say. If you imagine Sagittarius, like the image of it, it's like this archer, right? That's like aiming for something up there, something big, something ambitious, something that's not so easy to catch, right? So think about that for yourself. And the energies just naturally will be freeing you up from certain limitations you had before. This is that part where you think outside the box, where you see that the impossible is possible. It's like that. And again, if you think about it, it synchronizes with the idea of Christmas, of miracles, Santa Claus, like people making up with each other, and just miracles happening all around, right? Like that's the premise, really. In my culture, even more so, I would say that the way I see it right now, like in Eastern Europe, it's even more about something magical, so many fairy tales about like different kind of miracles happening around New Year's, around Christmas time. We also have St. Nicholas's Day on the 19th of December. So yeah, it's all about that, right? And it's also kind of a bit of an assessment, right, where you are in terms of your path, your moral values, your standards, etc., etc. And it's not to judge, but it's so that you can kind of take a moment to think about it and whether you are where you want to be. And if not, maybe you need to make some adjustments in how you live your life and what message you carry to the universe, right? So then you can match up in that and be the magician, really, of those miracles for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna get started with the reading now. And you can see that I'm holding the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck to begin with. I just love it, and I can't wait to get some guidance from Ascended Masters. We'll pull a card for the feminines first, and then for the masculines, and we'll proceed with the rest. And also I have my beautiful Muse Tarot deck today. I felt it was appropriate for this occasion, so I also haven't used it for a while, so I'm excited. For feminines, we have Bridget. Inner strengths. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. And look at this fiery color of her hair and fire in her hands. Speaking about Sagittarius and fiery energy. Look at that. You've got fire in you. These macrocosmic energies are igniting fire in you, divine feminines. And this is the time to kind of run with it, to use it, to ignite yourself so that you're excited. If you don't feel like it, create that space where you can be excited. What helps you get into that excitement? Is it doing some art? Is it meeting with your besties? Going, I don't know, out for a drink, or going out dancing? I don't know, like a lot of times this kind of, or maybe making a delicious meal, or even ordering in from somewhere that you usually don't go to, right? But that you really, really love. Or you're like, no, it's not part of my healthy lifestyle, so I'm just gonna say no. Maybe this is the time to live it a bit, right? Like a lot of times we're denying ourselves this kind of simple pleasures, especially as light workers, because we're supposed to be like up there with spirit and saving the world. But you know what? This is the part where you're supposed to ignite yourself first, before you can be that fire, that light, however you want to call it, for other people. And look how bright you're shining, right? This is like polishing those diamonds, baby. Let's see what we have for the masculines. The Holy Spirit. Expect miracles, just like I was saying. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. How beautiful is that? Relax and build, but I'm just hearing right away a message from Spirit. It still means have faith, right? Have faith that you're on track, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and that love will save the world big time. And it's not just a big motto, right? It's something that you're supposed to embrace in your life. Start with yourself, how you express love to other people in a wider sense. I don't just mean the one person that you're in a romantic relationship with. Generally speaking, how do you express love? How do you receive love? Are you grateful for that? Those kind of questions. It's still super important, and it's definitely an important foundation for those miracles to be attracted into your life. All right, so let's get into tarot. And the first question will be, of course, what kind of opportunities have been created for each of the twins. The Knight of Emotions for the feminines. The Knight on the white horse kind of idea. In shining armor. We say, it's interesting, we say the Knight on the white horse in Russian, but in English the phrase is the Knight in shining armor. The general idea behind it is the same, but it's interesting that the attention is paid to different parts of it. Talking about symbolism and fairy tales. By the way, I highly recommend reading fairy tales during this time. Of course, it's easier when you have kids, but even if you don't, maybe think of stories that you loved as a child. Maybe just kind of check out the bookstore, maybe talk to the shop, like to the, you know, store assistant on what would they recommend. Something about that pure magic, human warmth and love and those kind of things. And yeah, that helps you get into that mood, really. For masculines, we have the Magician. I was just talking about it, right? I even said co-create those miracles, right? I had that Magician card in my brain. That's amazing. Okay. So for feminines, yeah, I'm actually guided to actually go along with the reading as I'm pulling the cards. For feminines, this is the time, and I also just spoke about it, this is the time to assess how you give and receive love, right? Start with yourself. How do you give love to yourself? And how do you receive love from other people? So start from that perspective. And then go on with like, how do you give love to other people and how do you express it, right? Not just like, do I do something for people who I love? No, not like, go more into detail, right? How do I express it? Do people actually know when I express it, right? How am I making myself transparent? What is my love language? If you still don't know, I have a test for that. You can check it out on my blog. I also have a video for that as well with that information. All right, moving on, we'll see what are the challenges during this time. What kind of challenges can this new moon bring? Oops. What kind of challenges are divine feminines gonna face in this, or are facing at the beginning of this new cycle? Something that can be overcome. Let's focus on what can be solved. What kind of challenges can be solved with this new moon in Sag? Okay, I got death and four of inspiration, which is union. Wow. Oh my God, this is big time. Blocks along the, like, towards union, right? Like the transformation that needs to happen in order to get ready for union. That's what could be achieved during this time. This is so beautiful. And I'll actually be speaking in December about a big event for Twin Flames that's coming up in January. And it's so big that I want you to know, like, well in advance. It's about the divine masculine and divine feminine energies meeting each other. It happens once in 7 years and it's gonna happen in January 2023, right? And as that meeting, that union window is approaching, we're getting more and more of this acceleration towards union. It doesn't mean that everybody will get into union in January, but this is the end of a 7-year cycle for the twins. And no matter where you are in the journey, it will mean a certain milestone, right? And as the energies kind of amp up, the transformation opportunities amp up as well. So just so that you know, if those are already happening in your life, don't be afraid. And this is part of those divine blessings and macrocosm blessings, the universe that's working for us. If they're not happening, then maybe you're being guided to initiate something. Then go for it and know that you will have a lot of help from the universe. And no matter how the experience looks on the surface, like this death, for example, right? It has a moth here, right? Like no matter how grim or sad or unclear it may seem at first, go for it, because it will be inevitably a huge stepping stone towards union space. What blocks are being are being broken and overcome for divine masculines, or by divine masculines at this time. I got a lot of cards, but I'll take them. Okay, we have the Star, the Moon, and Five of Emotions. Wow. Oh, the Star and the Moon. Don't get me started. Yeah, so divine masculines are I see in certain magic. Again, the Star is about hope and believing in miracles, right? Like seeing the miracles in everything around them. And this is going from a sad place or some sort of disappointment, maybe in love, maybe in financial projects, right? It could be anything. Like it's finishing the grieving process because they can see how beautiful that was, or that it set them up for something new, for something a lot better, right? That's that part where people realize, when they realize that if I didn't get that, I don't know, promotion, for example, it's just because there was something 10 times better waiting for me around the corner. And if I did take it, I wouldn't be considering anything else, right? Like there are scenarios like that all the time. And it's easy to judge just by looking at it, okay, I was very much qualified for that promotion and I didn't get it. That sucks. And you can quickly fall into this Five of Cups energy. This is Five of Emotions here, but it's Five of Cups really, right? Or you can see that as an opportunity that something better is out there for me if I didn't get this, because I know that the divine is looking out for me. And we have two major arcanas here to support that statement. Beautiful. Okay, and I'll use the holographic deck to see what's to get the messages really. So let's see what divine masculines would like to share energetically with divine feminines at this time. What kind of word of support, love, and advice would they like to share with their divine feminines? Wow, the High Priestess and Knight of Swords, kind of in reverse. So I'm gonna take it as reverse. So divine masculines would like to remind divine feminines that they are the High Priestess, that they are beautiful in their knowing. They don't need to rush anything. They don't need this to be like a cheap, I don't know, romance, like telenovela kind of movie. It's so much deeper than that. And they know that you know divine feminines, that's the truth. But sometimes it's easy to forget and try to kind of try to rush things, think that you're running late, or like if you don't do something now, then you'll lose your chance forever, something like that. Or if this event didn't happen now, that means that hope is lost. But you know deep down that's not true, right? And we're just focusing on divine timing as much as anything and everything. And I must say, with what I'm seeing here, it looks like both DM and DF are very much aligned with the divine timing. It, like I was saying the other day, it doesn't necessarily mean union tomorrow, right? But it means that on the karmic path that each of us has, and we have our tasks and missions individually before we get together, right? Because we are being prepared. There are certain divinely guided choices, oh my gosh, choices, events, people, right? Commitments that we're making that are super critical towards that union space, towards the part where we're going to be doing our mission together. And it may not look like that on the surface, that it's bringing union closer, but it actually is. That's the beauty of it. Let's see what we have from feminines to masculines, and I'm gonna close this off. Okay, 2 cards, I'm gonna leave it there. Oh my god, look at that. We have Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful, beautiful. The Ace of Cups is always there between the twins. Oh my gosh, this is Queen of Pentacles. Love it. And 6 of Pentacles. So very earthly energy, but we actually saw that with this card too. To me, this very much speaks, especially the green color, speaks of the earth element. I was gonna mention it, but I didn't, and now I'm being drawn to the earth element again. So dear divine feminines, you are showing up very much in the earth energy at this time. So if you have a chance, or you're guided to either give thanks to nature or to utilize the support of Mother Earth, of plants, of nature somehow in your journey. Please do that, because you are basically supporting each other. You're supporting it, it supports you in wherever it is that you're going. So basically, Divine Feminine is saying they are very busy working on their mission, becoming the successful light worker that they know they're supposed to be exemplar, to be serving an example to other people, light workers, and not just average people, you know, that they're going to be helping, that may be helping others, because we're all capable of doing that, regardless of the spiritual gifts that we have, right? Just sharing the love and sharing the idea of sharing, right? Of kindness, of compassion, right? Like, this is so much needed in this world right now. Divine Feminines know it. And although deep down, maybe they would love their king, their emperor, to be with them, aka Divine Masculine, but they understand that this comes first. This is super important. They're on a mission. They're like a superhero character that's out there, and they are so much, they have so much passion for this, and they understand with this passion, with this fire that they feel inside, when they get into these topics, into this drive, right, into taking action towards mission, they understand that they are in alignment as ever, that they're vibing with the universe, with the divine on this, and that's the way to go, right? Everything else is going to come together naturally as a result. And a reminder, like a nota bene for me personally now, is that as feminines, we don't really need to focus too much on the relationship with our masculine. I mean, of course it's a mirror, of course it shows important information, and it's important to understand, at least on the higher level, what do you expect from your ideal partner, your like perfect complement, right? Like, generally speaking, what are the traits you're looking for? What is important to you? Outside of a specific person, generally speaking, you're supposed to know what you're expecting. That's super important. But other than that, you don't need to worry about anything. You don't have to fix them, you don't have to guide them, whatever. If something comes out naturally, do it. But if in doubt, feel free to choose not to talk to them or not to interfere with whatever it is they're going through. Because your main task is definitely on the mission and on setting up yourself for success in all areas of your life. And that shouldn't have to be connected to Divine Masculine, right? Divine Masculine is like a cherry on top. It's like an extra bonus of somebody who's so much in alignment and so much in the same kind of vibe as you are, that it's just like gets you extra thrilled in a good way, right? When you do that together. And of course you combine your talents, your life experience, all of it, and it just kind of explodes even more, right? But at the moment, it's still important to build all of that for yourself, all that happy life for yourself, without relying on somebody stepping in and then completing it, right? Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Love you.